Welcome back to another episode of Rennybo's videos. Glad you guys came by, man. Appreciate it. Let's shoot a shout out to the Fantastic Foe. I believe it's Foe. I ain't checked my subscribers, but anyway, the original Fantastic Foe. Appreciate it, bro. Hope y'all stay tuned. You know I'm going to send it to you on your phone, so you will see the latest edition I put out there. I ain't posted like I used to. But anyway, man, first of all, let's touch that thumbs up. If you don't like it, push the thumbs down. And please, please push that subscribe button, man. I know subscribe, that word subscribe usually attached to something, meaning you got a payment or something coming every month, every week. No, this is not like that. That's subscribe. You push it, mean you subscribe to my channel. You appreciate what I'll be laying out. Okay? Now, let's get that out the way. Like and subscribe. Now, we're finna get into the story about this youngster named Dave. He spelled it D4VD. Or is that how they pronounce his name? D4VD? VD. Wait a minute. But anyway, it's about him. We're going to get into his story, man. And before that, let's give a shout out to the Family TV. Because these guys do he do his due diligence, man. He do his I'm looking for the word right now. I'm kind of fried right now, but he do his in-depth research real good, man. I mess with him, you know. I mess with the Family TV. No homo, nothing like that, but yeah, I like what he do. He gets down, bro. Pause and all that shit, right? But yeah, make sure you guys go to the Family TV, man, and subscribe to that channel. Because, like I said, man, he never let me down. Every time I see that he does a report on a news clipping that I happen to run up on, he give me pretty good in depth on it. And you get to know the person behind the news, you know, because on the news, it just show you, you know, what happened. So-and-so, this happened, woo, but not so in deep. Who is this person? I mean, where they from? But with the Family TV, you get all that, man. So I strongly suggest that you guys go over there and check out the Family TV. So, like I said, we're going to get into that story, bro. But first, you know how I do it, man. I got to hit you with the disclaimer. And then we're going to give you original news clipping of that incident that caught my eye. And first, I got to agree, man. I got to admit that I didn't know who this kid was. Not to be disrespectful, but I'm not a fan of that type of music, you know, that testosterone. But the guy had talent. Trust me. There's a lot of people who did mess with him. But anyway, we're finna get into this. And let me know, man, after y'all see this clip and feel like you know his character, do you think he could be involved? He's involved because his car's in there, but do you think he's the type? But anyway, let's check it out, man. First, the disclaimer, then we're going to get into the story, the news clipping first. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to hit that like button, man, and holla at your boy. For sure. Get in the comment. Let me know if you think he deeper than we think. All right.
By Amazon.
No suspects, no leads, and no ID.
Tonight, there are many more questions and answers about the woman's body stuffed into a Tesla and left for days or even weeks on the streets of Hollywood. KCAL's Nicole Comstock is live at the tow yard where that gruesome discovery was made.
And a medical examiner's report that we found tonight confirms that they believe that this woman had been dead for quite some time. And so they still haven't been able to determine who she is or things like how old she was or what she looked like. But one thing that stood out from that report is it said she had a distinct tattoo on her index finger with the letters SHHH, like the sound of a whisper. And tonight, it's still a mystery how she ended up inside the trunk of a car tied to a well-known singer. Adoring fans are waiting to get into a concert tonight in Minneapolis. Singer-songwriter David is performing there on a world tour. The 20-year-old who rose to fame after a couple of his genre-defying songs went viral on TikTok is alive and well. But a car reportedly registered in his legal name to an address in Texas is at the center of a mysterious death investigation 1,400 miles away in Hollywood. His reps have reportedly said he's fully cooperating with the LAPD. Investigators say when they opened the trunk of that Tesla Monday, they discovered decomposing human remains in a bag. Workers here noticed an alarming odor after towing it.
We all thought it was sewage.
Neighbors in this Hollywood Hills neighborhood told us the same Tesla with Texas plates had been abandoned on their street since the beginning of the summer.
I think the community knew something was wrong and reported the car being abandoned.
We asked the LAPD whether the car, believed to belong to the singer, was ever reported stolen before it was impounded, since it was potentially abandoned with a body inside of it for weeks or months. They did not answer that question. They did say their robbery homicide division is investigating how that person died and then ended up in the car. The medical examiner's office is still working to identify the body.
It's heartbreaking for whoever the victim is.
An attorney's office representing the singer took our request for comment over the phone, but did not respond in time for broadcast. However, a spokesperson for David is reportedly saying he has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with authorities. And just to be clear, the singer has not been named as a person of interest in this case. In fact, no one has been named as a person of interest in this case. However, TMZ is reporting that the clothing brand Hollister may have already dropped the singer from a prominent ad on its website. Reporting in Hollywood, Nicole Comstock, KCAL News.
All right, Nicole, thank you. And
Don't drink. Hey, good morning. And it was workers here at Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue who noticed a strong odor coming from that vehicle where human remains were found, a decomposing body. And
fam, why we act like we forget sometimes? Success can come fast, but when it does, it can be harder to handle than the struggle it took to get there. Imagine being homeschooled since a very early age, recorded songs in your sister's closet just to experiment. But by 17, you had over 100 million streams. And by 20, you was a Grammy Award winning artist with the world watching. But as time go on, some notice your appearance and demeanor already showing the weight of your fame. But with that blessing comes a curse. Because sometimes quick success without the journey to prepare you can be impossible to manage and even harder to keep. But that same young man who started from playing Fortnite and now making millions of dollars finds himself in a disturbing headline where a baby was allegedly found in the hood of his car. Today we talk about a man who didn't set out to be a star. At first, he was just another teen stuck at home during the pandemic, inspired by content creators being able to monetize playing the game. His favorite was games like Roblox and Animate. But along that journey, he had an obstacle like everyone else. But instead of folding, his mother gave one quote. Some would say she just wanted him out his face, but some would say changed his life. In this video, we'll later explain what she said. But let's just say that one of many statements I'm sure she gave her son, he stuck to, and in return, changed not only his life, but his family's. But it was overnight. And by the conclusion, I would like the audience to tell me how would they handle such success. Because with dreams come nightmares. And some would think, now looking at the recent allegations, and of course we gotta say allegedly because anything could have happened. Someone could have possibly stole his car. It could be a mix-up. But one thing we do know, we'll later examine the facts. And going over his music, looking at his past appearance, and noticing the correlation between the alleged allegations and his music. Recently, while on tour, allegations surfaced that the baby was discovered inside the hood of his car, as we mentioned. The details remain murky, which we'll later discuss. Was this connected to a missing child, a setup, or the result of someone else using his vehicle? The internet is full of theories. But the truth, like the fame he stumbled into, remains complicated. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Fam, meet David Burks, also known by his rap stage name, D4VD. He from Houston, Texas. He was homeschooled since the age of 9. And since middle school, at an early age, he understood that friends are rare to come across.
A lot of friends in middle school. And then after being homeschooled, nobody's hitting me up, nobody's asking me, like, where am I at? Why am I not coming to school today? It made me question, like, what is a real friend? And do I have any of those as well?
Now, in order to understand David's life after middle school, we have to take it back to 2020. During the pandemic, where the world was on lockdown, schools were shut down, And for David, who had already been homeschooled, as we mentioned, since 7, it was just another day indoors. Most of his time went into gaming. Fortnite was his escape. And during that time, between 3 different generations was making gaming content and making a good living out of it. And because David was so good, he knew he could do that. But as he was uploading videos, he started to use music of artists who was already known. And because of that, he was getting copyright strikes. Until one day, David vented to his mom his frustration. And in return, she quoted, "Make your own music." And at the age of 17 years old, David did just that, and the rest was history.
Because of his ability, I know he's able to play and do, so I said, just make your own music.
At that point, David became creative. Across from his bed was his sister room, who had a walk-in closet. And at that time, he decided to make her walk-in closet his recording studio. All he had was his iPhone, his wireless headphones, and the Band Lab app, who broke artists like Lord Tyler from Florida. His sound was raw, unpolished, but authentic. He wrote poems every day. And because of gaming, he always had the ability to dream. And that's what he did in his music, having a mind of his own. The genre of music he made was considered pop, R&B, and indie rock. And in July 2022, he released Romantic Homicide, a track with over 150 million views and counting on YouTube. It went viral on TikTok. The song blew up, hitting Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 34 and passing 1 billion Spotify streams later. Labels came calling. He eventually signed with Dark Room / Interscope Records, Billie Eilish label. Now for those who can't tell, he was inspired by Lil Pump and also XXXTentacion. He didn't know anything about rap or this type of music in itself. He grew up listening to gospel, and of course, as mentioned, as you know by now, he was homeschooled. But that didn't matter. He followed up with a track called Here With Me, with over 100 million views again on YouTube, but another viral favorite, cementing his style.
I can't describe what I'm feeling.
Super unorthodox. Like, I wanted to be a professional Fortnite player, and I saw people making hundreds of thousands of dollars on playing this game every day. So I was like, man, I can do that. But the videos I would post on YouTube would get copyright strikes because of the music that I would use in my videos was mainstream music like radio music and etc. I cried to my mom about it, and she was just like, well, if you're not making your money, how about you make your own song? And I was like, I could probably do that. So the next day I looked up how to make music on iPhone. My little sister has a walk-in closet, so I used her room and her closet as a studio. I put robes up, hung up all these things for noise cancellation, and just went crazy. I made my first song in December 2021. I was just giving away free money at that point because nobody could get a copyright strike from using my music. And then I posted a snippet of Romantic Homicide, which is a song I was sitting on for about a week. Before, it was like unheard of for me because I would just make a song and drop it the next day. But I held on to it because I didn't think it was really in the right spot until I heard the feedback from people on TikTok and they said they wanted this. So I dropped it immediately. And here we are.
By 2023, the world officially caught on. He started touring internationally, performing in sold-out venues. His music reached beyond TikTok and Roblox. It became the soundtrack of Gen Z heartbreak. Critics praised his sound. Rolling Stone, Billboards, and the New York Times. They all covered him as one of the new voices of his generation. But with every show, every new city, you could see a change. His appearance, his demeanor. It was like fame was aging him faster than time. By 2024, David had crossed 120 million streams across multiple platforms. His fan base was loyal. He had multiple songs. But behind the scenes, they were a different story. The spotlight wasn't always kind. Interviews showed him more reserved. He carried himself differently. Some said he seemed overwhelmed, almost hunted by his own success. 2025, he was 20 years old, and David reached another milestone, winning a Grammy for a kid who started in his sister's closet. It was a full circle moment and the American dream. But the dream turned into a nightmare. Just 3 days after appearing on the news for his upcoming tour and his latest project.
And now to our segment, Prime Playlist Shuffle, where we sit down with the artists who are transforming the music industry. And it all started in his little sister's closet in Houston. Now he's been touring with stars like SZA, playing Coachella, and landing singles on Billboard's Hot 100. Singer and producer David, and it's spelled D4VD. We'll talk about the Fortnite history with that in a moment here. And he combines alt-pop, R&B, and indie rock to create his own unique sound. And now he's releasing the deluxe version of his debut album. It's called Withered. Let's take a listen to the single, Feel It. We got to dance to that beat.
Yeah,
David,
right?
Welcome
How we
to
doing?
ABC News Live.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. You're busy, so you're on tour right now, but you're taking some time to talk about this album. And it's a really cool album because you say that it's about the life cycle of a road.
I've always wanted to have like a certain symbolism to my art. So I view myself as this symbolic rose that grows and evolves and then withers away, and then like you have a different era of a flower. So starting off my first EP, which is Petals to Thorns, was like the growth and like the starting point of this process. And then Withered, like the end of that chapter, moving on to like the next flower, the next era, everything.
One of the first songs you created hit the Billboard 100.
Yeah.
And you did it with headphones and a phone.
Just my phone. That's the studio. I carry the studio with me everywhere I go. Yeah.
How did that happen?
Essentially, like I was a big Fortnite player and a big like streamer and just a very internet kid. And I was making Fortnite montages for YouTube and just like the internet. And I was getting copyright strikes on every video because I was using copyrighted music from like big artists and stuff like that. So I couldn't make any money. And I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to college. I want to make money on video games. You know? So she was like, boy, get out my face, make your own song. And she was like just saying that just so I leave her alone.
Yeah.
And I took it to heart and I was like, wait, I probably can do that. So I searched up on Google how to make music on an iPhone.
No way.
Yeah, this app called
just Googled
BandLab.
this.
Yeah, the app called BandLab came up and I was just locked in right there.
And now it's sort of full circle because you're actually collaborating with Fortnite.
Yeah. So Fortnite and me, we basically have like a couple of emotes in the game now and jam tracks, which is like songs you can play in the game. So let's say you eliminate somebody and you want to be like a bad sport, like you'll just emote on their, you know, on their loot. But yeah, me and Fortnite have a good relationship now. It's been a crazy journey.
And you still play?
Still play every day. I got this laptop. I play on the tour bus all the time. I'm just playing wherever I go.
You know, it's just hearing you speak. It's incredible that you're just 20 years old, right? 20 years old. This all started when you were just a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, what's it like for you looking back? And because it wasn't that long ago to see how your life has changed now.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to like express myself and release my art and help people around the world too. But I was homeschooled for the majority of high school. So I was like at home, just video games, writing, poetry, reading books, just anything I could do to keep my mind off, you know, being at home 24/7. And then once the music thing happened, I was outside 24/7. So it was like a stark contrast to my life. And I love it though.
Well, and when you're on tour too, you were telling me that you actually are looking at everyone, as many as you can.
Absolutely.
Like right in the eye. Tell me about this tour because this is exciting. You're playing Brooklyn tonight.
Yeah. Brooklyn Steel tonight, played Terminal 5 last night. Big crowds, a lot of energy. I love it. I mean, touring is like the best thing you can do as an artist because you're seeing your listeners in real life and in real time and getting to see those emotions, you know, react to your music in real life. So I'm like able to decipher what songs they react to the best and what songs people cry to and laughed at and da-da-da-da. It's like a metric thing.
And you're hyper present. You're in the moment.
Super in the present. I love it. I love it.
Oh man, you're a pleasure, David. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
I know you're super busy. Withered, the album, is out now wherever you stream.
As you can see from that appearance just 72 hours ago on the news, he got fingernail polish now, different hairstyle, and even wearing Hello Kitty sweaters. While on tour just 3 days after that interview, September 9th, 2025, Tuesday morning, Los Angeles impound lot has smelled the barely decomposed body in a Tesla that belonged to the singer David. Los Angeles police were called to the lot on North Mansfield Avenue because of a foul odor coming from the vehicle. When authorities got to the impound lot and approached the Tesla, they noticed the smell coming from the hood of the front of the car. Officers noticed the remains that were not intact. And because of that, the identification is going to be delayed. The impound lot was called Hollywood Tow. According to the police report, the car had been impounded after being abandoned for more than a week. Authorities said the body was in a bag inside of a trunk.
An impounded car parked in a Hollywood tow yard.
Mario Ramirez has been following this story all morning. He has the very latest there. Mario.
Hey, good morning. And it was workers here at Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue who noticed a strong odor coming from that vehicle where human remains were found, a decomposing body. And we're getting new details about this gruesome discovery. Take a look. We're learning that the vehicle involved is linked to Grammy Award-winning singer David, whose full name is David Anthony Burke. TMZ this morning reporting that Tesla registered in Hempstead, Texas to the singer who gained popularity in 2022 after his singles Here With Me and Romantic Homicide went viral on TikTok. Now, that Tesla seen in video being removed from the parking structure here of the tow yard once it was cleared. According to LAPD investigators, the body was found stuffed inside the front trunk of the Tesla. Officers got the call around noon Monday when workers reported a strong odor coming from the vehicle, and when LAPD opened it up, they found human remains sealed in a bag. The car with Texas license plate, investigators say, was towed from the Hollywood Hills area after it was reported abandoned last week, and Fox 11 spoke with one of the tow yard workers about that discovery here.
I heard about it earlier. I heard about it, and it was, I don't know, it's pretty shocking, you know? So it's a tow yard, so LAPD's tow yard, so. I was here this weekend, so, I don't know. I know there's cars upstairs, a lot of them, so.
And we've been reaching out, checking with LAPD homicide detectives this morning, not commenting on that Tesla being registered to the singer David, who is set to take stage in Minneapolis as part of his world tour that began last month. And back out here live right now, we can tell you the LA County Coroner's Office is working to determine the exact cause of death and the identity of that victim. For now, that's the latest here in Hollywood. I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. Business owners in the Bay Area are calling for more police protection in the wake of a horrifying smash and grab crime.
Zach Sauce reports from San Jose.